Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. I'm here with Andy, and we're going to break down some roster moves that the Knicks might have coming up pretty soon. That may happen, well, it's going to happen before the after the draft, before free agency. We just don't know when. But we're going to talk about what probably should have happened a couple of days ago if the draft wasn't moved back, things weren't moved around, and what might happen in the nearby future. So let's go ahead and get this thing on and popping. Andy, what's up with you, man? How you feeling?
Yo, what's up, guys? Happy to be on. It's, I see they didn't change the 1 hour difference to the winter time yet. In Poland they did, so it's like an hour earlier for me. So it's now for 1 week we have like the 5 hour difference.
Okay. yeah. I'm not even sure when that time change is for us. I don't know.
Yeah, it was probably set, a week or 2 weeks apart at farthest. I remember I was always, waking up for the Knicks games on this week, and I always misjudge the hour. I didn't, always get up like at the exact time. I was like an hour early or an hour late, the whole week. So I remember this time pretty good.
Yeah, now that everything is done digitally and it just changes for me, I don't even think about it.
Yeah, exactly.
I hear about it and then, the clock's changed. And, one day I wake up, I feel tired. Another day, I don't feel tired. I feel like I got extra rest or something.
Now you only need to change it on the oven, right?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly. So, coming up, it's October the 26th, and we got about 3 weeks to wait until the draft, right? And, we've been talking about a lot about who the Knicks might draft and what they might do, what kind of trades or roster change-ups that might happen before the draft and all of that. And if the draft would have happened this month, then we would have seen a couple of the Knicks be waived, most likely. Right? Because just after the draft, October the 17th, that was the deadline for the Knicks to keep or waive certain players. And if they keep those players, then their contracts become fully guaranteed. If they waive those players, then they only got to pay them $1 million. Right? October 17th came and went. You didn't hear anything happen with the New York Knicks. Most likely because that deadline has been moved. Right. And it's a good thing that it's moved after the draft, but before free agency. So if the Knicks are going to use these players, and we're going to talk about these guys, if the Knicks are going to use these players, they've got to do it during the draft. It's one of the reasons why I think the Knicks might make some kind of trades or moves during the draft. Right. Because they're keeping these players on hold. In a holding pattern.
That's why they did it, because if nothing was happening, and the season went like a regular season, it would be the same way. First the draft, then free agency, right? So those expiring contracts or contracts at all could be moved on draft night.
Right.
That's why it's going to be. Though this year it's going to be like 1 day period only, right? I bet the free agents would love to know what's going to happen to them. They're going to be sitting so nervously like those rookies, on draft night, probably waiting for their fate to be decided for them.
And I'm pretty sure some of those guys maybe know. I'm sure they've had some conversations, right? So some of those guys probably know. Some of the other guys are probably a little, like you said, they want to know what's happening and what's going on. So let's look at who these guys are. I'm pretty sure people already know who they are, but, for conversation's sake, we'll take a look and talk about these guys. All right, so let's take a look. Remember, all of these contracts that you're looking at are non-guaranteed for 2020, 2021. Okay? We're talking about Todd Gibson. Todd Gibson, he makes $9,450,000 in 2020, 2021. Alfred Payton, he makes $8 million. Bobby Portis, $15,570,000 for 2020, 2021. Wayne Ellington makes $8 million. Reggie Bullock, he makes $4.2 million. And Mitchell Robinson, and a lot of people may not know this about Mitchell Robinson, but Mitchell Robinson, he makes $1.6 million, and he is one of those guys whose contract has to be, well, basically the Knicks, if they waive him, they only got to pay him $1 million, right? If they do not waive him, then his contract becomes fully guaranteed. All right, so all of these players that you see on the screen now, ladies and gentlemen, if the Knicks waive them by whatever the date is, we no longer know what that date is. At one time it was June 28th. Then at another time it was October the 17th. Now it's going to most likely be sometime in November. All right, that date has not been decided upon at this moment. Okay, and let me get this little sound from. I don't know what that sound is. I think it's one of these. Let me get that from. I think I got rid of it now. But those guys, again, one more time. Todd Gibson, $9,450,000. Alfred Payton, $8 million. Bobby Portis, $15.5 million. Wayne Ellington, $8 million. Reggie Bullock, $4.2 million. And Mitchell Robinson, $1.6 million. The Knicks got to waive these guys or the contracts become guaranteed. If the Knicks are going to have money in free agency, it makes sense for them to waive them. But also, it makes sense for them to keep them on hold until after the draft. All right, so looking at those guys, which guys do you think will be kept, will be waived? I think we can start off with Mitch Robinson. He's going to be kept. He's not going to be waived.
Exactly. He's a keeper for sure. For that money, he's staying.
Right. $1.6 million. Yeah, for that money. I mean, how much would you say if Mitchell Robinson went to the market today? How much do you think he would command? Or how much would what would he demand in the market?
I'll say this. I think a fair price for him, if the Knicks would have to, if we would have to extend him, I think a fair price for us would be 10 to 12 million. I think though the market would go higher from really bad teams that would like to risk even around over 15 million for him. I don't see him getting 20 million contracts a year. Let's be straight about that. That's not going to happen. But I think 10 to 12 million is a fair price for him. I think that those some teams like those Sacramento, Charlotte's, Orlando teams, if they had salary cap space, I think they would overbid the 12 million definitely.
Okay. So as far as you're concerned, we're getting him at a heck of a deal.
At this point, yeah.
Right, at a heck of a deal. And his contract extends. I mean, the Knicks have a team option going into the 2021-2022 season. So that's going to be, that's, very, very team friendly. Very, very team friendly. And here comes Big Pudding in the house.
Wait, what?
Big Pudding in the building. What's going on, man?
Who the hell is? First of all, I'm Big Chocolate. Don't get it twisted.
I don't know about that. You look a little pudgy. Them Facebook photos you got of yourself in the gym look a little pudgy around the waistline. So, and then Bill Cosby pudding pops a lot, something.
We going back to the pudding pops now, y'all? Shout out to Andy, the only true friend I have on this show, because everybody else wants to make fun of me, and I'm a pudding pop.
Good that you say that before, bro, because I was gonna say it's still better pudding pop than knee pads, bro.
Figure that up, Andy.
You got to get some earphones in, man, because you keep breaking up and you're moving all over the place. You got everybody watching dizzy, falling over. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
As soon as you logged on, all my viewership went down.
Oh my Lord! It's not me, man. It's not me.
Soon as you logged on, the viewership went down by about 100.
Oh no, it goes well by 100, man.
Oh no, I don't know what's going on. LV Shore said, "Man, what gym he be in?"
Oh, that's
what?
That's a lie. I go to the gym 5 times a week.
Okay.
I'm in peak physical condition. Anybody can get it. I'm the can man.
Oh.
Anybody can get it.
Oh. I thought you told me you only go to Planet Fitness on the pizza days. That's what I thought you told me. You only go on pizza days.
I'm not you said. Yeah, I tell you stuff. And you just tell everybody, man.
No, anyway, man. So the Knicks got some. You're still breaking up. I don't know what's going on with you, man. You're still breaking up. But the Knicks got some roster decisions to make. We're gonna go down. There's a couple of players and talk about which ones. You know, what do we think is gonna happen with these players? Let's start. We talked about Mitchell Robinson already. Let's talk about Todd Gibson. What do you think happens with Todd Gibson?
I think they're gonna keep Todd, man. I really do. I think they're gonna keep him.
I think Todd is gonna stay around, but I don't think they're gonna pay him $9.4 million.
I think, honestly, so Sim, I think Thibs, since him and Thibs have a rich history, like I said, I agree with you. I think they're going to rework his contract, and it's going to be more affordable for him, well, for the Knicks versus him. But he's definitely going to be here for the year. I have no doubt about that.
I think so, too. As a matter of fact, I think this is going to be Todd Gibson's last stop in the NBA.
Yeah, I think I agree with you guys, but I also think that he would definitely, before the, reworking the contract for like half of that price and just go, through 3 years, 4 years maybe, or something like that. And if he's going to be getting, in 2-3 seasons around $3.5, $4 or $5 million, definitely he's going to take that deal.
Yeah, I think that. Okay. I could see that. And yeah, I believe he's definitely going to stick around. Stay on the team. Hear these guys come in making noise. Mark come in making all kinds of noise. Todd Gibson is going to be. He'll be that wily vet that stays around, I think, and the guy that can. The guy that can translate from Tom Thibodeau to the players, be that conduit from Tom Thibodeau to the players. I think that's going to be his role next year. Are we expecting a lot of playing time? Probably not. He may give us some valuable minutes, but I think the Knicks are going to be his last stop. I don't think he wants to go anywhere, right? He came, one of the reasons he came to New York is because, his relationship with his dad, things going on with his father, so he wanted to be home with his father. I think this is it. This is going to be his last stop, and he's going to retire a Knick. That's what I think. So I'll be happy to keep him around. Not at $9.4 million, but I'll be happy to keep Todd Gibson around. You know what I mean? Kev, what's going on, man?
How you feeling, guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
Low.
Yeah, you're a little bit. You're a little bit low. Yep. I don't know how you can get the volume up.
I'm gonna try. But I'm feeling great. I voted. Got to get this dude out of here. But I know this ain't no political thing. So, but yeah, man, I'm excited to get this thing going.
Yeah, man. You just came in and made my screen a little bit ugly with that Steelers thing you got on, but you know what I'm saying.
Hey, Mark, you see it, man? You see it, Mark?
You know what I'm saying? Just came in and just messed up the whole flow. Just messed up the whole flow.
Sim been getting frisky lately.
Hey, man. Hey, don't blame me for your quarterback.
I'm just saying, he came in and messed up the flow, man. Come in here with that Steelers stuff on, man. Just messing up the flow. Get out of here with that.
I can't, man. We 6-0, man. Can't do it, man.
So, Payback Carter said, don't forget, Sin. Rich Paul's Mitchell Robinson's agent now, so he might be asking for more, especially if Mitch has a good year. So, yeah, look. Rich Paul's his agent, but there's nothing he can do about the contract situation right now. Right? It's nothing he can do. This is the contract, right? So Mitchell Robinson makes $1.6 million in 2020, 2021, and then there's a team option for 2021, 2022. Now, he could go to the team and say, hey, could you guys decline the option and then maybe we sign back? I don't know if there's any parameters if you decline an option, that you can sign that player back or what the parameters are there. But I think for the most part, Mitchell Robinson is going to have to play out this contract because if the Knicks are smart, they'll pick up that $1.8 million in 2020, 2021, right? They'll pick up that $1.8 million, and then after that season, and then after 2021, or I'm sorry, 2022 is when he's got that $1.8 million option. After that 2022 season, then make a decision on what you're going to do with Mitch, right? So the Knicks got a good 2 years with Mitchell Robinson to really figure out, what he is and what he's going to be.
Sam, there's an article from NBC Sports. If the Knicks was to lock him up next year on his for his contract extension, it's a 4-year, $55 million deal. I would lock him up.
Okay.
I would lock him up on that deal.
If they can, they can, right? They can do an extension probably next summer.
Next year.
Right,
Yeah,
at the summer of 2021. So if you can lock him up at a good deal, depending on how he plays, he may not want an extension. He may say, "Nah, do me, go ahead and pick up my $1.8 million option, and then I'll test the market." You know what I mean? But if he comes in and he's giving us 12 points and 8 rebounds, 2 blocks, for the Knicks to lock him up for 4 years, $55 million or something like that. But
not even that. When you think about when you think about it, it's still a tradable asset because he'll be making what between 10 to 12 each year. And I think the fourth year would be more of a team option more than a play option. And remember, younger guys normally sign their second contract. There's not a lot of players that come in this league and do not sign their second contract. It's more after their third contract and how established you are in the league. If you are the LeBron James, the Kevin Durant, and Anthony Davis that be signing the 1-for-1 deal, most players take their full either the contract that the team are giving them or a 2-year or plus or something like that. But if I was in Knicks and as long as I'm coming to him with 55 for 4 years, now that's a deal. That's a deal. That's acceptable. That's a deal I'm acceptable because at the end of the day, that dude can still be a defensive demon. You know what I'm saying? Because he's really good now. So just think about under a good tutelage and structure, he's going to become even more better on that end. And that's still kind of significant in his game. So at 54 years, $55 million, that's a deal that's more acceptable. But when you're talking about upwards of $15 to $18 million for a center like that, no way. So
I can't even see him. I can't even see him right now asking for that.
Hey, let me ask a question. When did Donovan Mitchell and even Jason Tatum, when did they sign their deals? Did they sign them in
before the bubble started?
Before the bubble. Okay.
But they made it possible for the expiring contracts, the rookie deals, to get extended before the bubble started.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think they get paid next year. Those two get paid next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So no, that'd be a great deal for Mitchell Robinson, I think.
That's
and that would be smart. I think that'd be smart for them to do. But
here's my other thing with that with Mitch. As much as I've been clamoring for people to change their mindset of Mitchell being the cornerstone of this team, I'm no fool. I got to see those numbers, the numbers that you gave, Sim. I would want those to validate everything that I was saying. I want those numbers raised up a little bit more if we're going to be paying him that much. I don't know the numbers that you gave. I don't know if that would constitute,
I think
because everybody's been saying, we need to see a lot more out of Mitchell Robinson. And I got to give you credit, Sam. I watched that whole, you and Andy, I watched that whole video of the coach's corner. Yeah, that was nice. That was nice. And I totally get it. And if he does do that, if he does do everything that you said, those numbers will be raised up, and then everything will be validated. So, but I got to give you credit.
If he can get the passing game in his game, then he become a valuable asset. Now, if he's just someone that's going to just run and block,
it's a problem.
I could easily pass on you. But if you show me an all-around game, being the center and stuff like that, that's when you get. Money. That's when you get paid.
Right.
So 55, 4 years. That's a bar. That's a deal that I would accept.
Yeah. And if you want to check out that Mitchell Robinson breakdown, I just put the link in the chat. All right, we broke down just how Mitchell Robinson can develop. We looked at some of his strengths.
Yeah, that was really good. People got to see that.
Certain ways he can develop. So go ahead and check it out. I just put the link in the chat. All right, and it'll be there's an information button up at the top. When this video is over, you'll be able to go to that information button. So those who are looking at it on a replay, you'll be able to go check it out. All right, and you guys in the chat, man. You guys can go to the front stoop and we can talk about politics on the front stoop. We're not doing it here. All right, we're not doing it here. So guys in the chat that's chatting up about Trump and Biden, leave that someplace else, man. We do it on the front stoop. We're not talking about that here right now.
Exactly. Whole bunch of liberals in this chat,
We're not talking about it. We're not talking about it right now. We're not. None of that. And if I see it, I'm gonna take you out of here. Okay, so I've warned you guys. Now I see a couple of people. I've warned you. The next time I see it, I'm taking you out. All right.
We only here for the blue and orange, man.
That's
blue
it.
Orange,
Blue
yes,
and orange.
Blue orange.
Blue and orange.
I think Andy had something to say.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Andy.
Yes, I'm surprised that Kevin is here after watching our Coach's Corner about Mitch, and I'm surprised he isn't voting, for 55 million per year from Mitch. I was pretty sure that's going to happen, bro.
I was waiting for Kevin. I was waiting for Kev to try to jump into the chat or something like that when we were doing it, man. I was like, I know Kevin's about to jump in.
Hey, no, that's y'all, baby, man. Hey, Coach's Corner. I listen to the coach. I listen to you, the coach.
Okay, all right.
This is the chat. This is the chat where you can express yourself now, Sim.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay. Danny Thomas, man, shout out. Thank you, Danny Thomas, for the super chat. He said, with Mitchell Robinson, I do an extension next summer for between 9 and 11 million with an option in the fourth year. Then he asked what's your thoughts on Yoli Childs from BYU, 6'9", forward. I'm not even sure. I can't even answer that question, to be honest with you. I'm not gonna lie to you, Danny. I can't even answer that question. I have to go check it out. I'll go check them out, and then maybe we'll talk about it in the next show. Let's see.
I know he's talking about. I think that shooting guard, that forward shooting guard. He would be a good addition. He's not bad. So, he could get better.
Yeah. So let's take a look at. Let me see who else we got on the list. We got Alfred Payton, $8 million.
Sam, you already know where he going.
$8 million, Alfred Payton.
You already know where he going.
So the Knicks got to, they got to make a decision there. What do they do with Alfred Payton? And let me ask you.
Thank you, but no thanks. Let
me ask you though. I know that we know that the Knicks are going to be looking for a point guard, right?
Yeah.
If they have word right now that they have a point guard that they know is likely going to be coming to the Knicks, then clearly you say, Alfred Payton, you're gone. But what if they don't have word right now? What if they don't know? What if there's no word of Chris Paul coming? They don't know what's going to happen in the draft. And still, even in the draft, it's a young, rookie point guard that's going to have to develop. I'm not sure who else is out there from a point guard standpoint. Mm-hmm. What do you do? Do you still just say, you know what, we're going to waive Alfred Payton so that we can have his $8 million?
So like I said, draft night is where things are gonna go down. So in this case, right? Say if we don't make trades, say if we don't make a trade for a point guard in the draft or something like that. What we would do now is okay, this is the time that you can say, we're going to give the rock to Dennis Smith Jr. and see what he is, or even to bring up his value. So in due time, we could either trade him because, again, his contract comes up, and I doubt anybody want to pay him significantly. So this will be his chance to be in the starting point guard without having to battle with 2-3 point guards. You finally say, yo, here, let's see what you can do now. This is your chance. I'm giving you the ball to do what you need to do, and have Frank come off the bench behind him, or in some cases. That's what I would do. But keeping Alfred Payton on his team, I'll move on from him. I'd rather give Dennis Smith the reins now to see what he could do, or to build up his trading value. In that case, let's just see what they can do now.
So you're telling me if the Knicks don't pick up any other point guard,
you got to go with the two young guards.
You would start Dennis Smith over Frank? At the point guard spot?
I would.
That's where I disagree. That's where I disagree with Mark just a little bit. Keep going, Mark. Keep going.
I would do it because there's things that Dennis Smith can do, right? Mm-hmm. But we haven't seen it at a consistent base. So now that we got this coach that can show him some things, how to play the right way, how to do certain things the right way.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to put you in a position now, right? Because it also benefits us at the end of the day if we're going to make him the starting guard. Because now if he get value, there's other teams looking, okay, we know his deal's coming up next. His deal's going to come up next. And I doubt the Knicks going to want to pay him significantly. So you can end up building up his character. And we could be we could possibly be a consistent team. That's the word I want to use for this team. A consistent team. It could be losing, but you're consistent at what you're doing still. And then you build up his value, so in due time we could trade him at the end of the day, and then we go from there.
And I definitely agree with you. I think it hurts Dennis Smith Jr. more. I think it hurts his pride more to come off the bench than it hurts Frank's pride, right? Frank don't care.
He don't like that.
Right?
No, he just wants to hoop. That's all.
Yeah, Frank doesn't care. He's gonna ask whatever the coach asks him to do. He's gonna do it. You know what I mean? And he'll be cool. I think.
He's low maintenance. Frank is low. That's why I like it.
Right. Low maintenance. And I think Dennis Smith Jr., it'll hurt his pride a little bit more. So, yeah, it'll probably help his confidence, to start, whether or not he, finishes the game or gets the minutes of gets more minutes than Frank or less minutes than Frank. Starting probably means a lot to him.
Yeah, this is the best time to give him that opportunity.
And here's the other thing. If Tibbs, who I believe will be very, very instrumental on getting these guys to play, as you say, Mark, consistently.
Yeah.
I truly believe, and defensively, I think Tibbs will see that if Dennis Smith isn't really getting it off defensively towards like the end of the game, I could see Frank being there,
Kevin, I say this. If Dennis Smith can't really look as good as when Tom Thibodeau had Lucas III coming off the bench as a third guard, if Dennis Smith cannot play consistent, as I've seen those players, these literal guards that he had at the time play at the point, it's not even the coach. It's just might be the player, bro.
Right.
It might just be the player. Because there's no way now, because like I said, Dennis Smith has talent. So he's more talented than any of those other guards that he had prior to Derrick Rose. So if he doesn't come out consistent as a guard, then it's the player. It can't be the coach. It's the player.
And here's the thing. Before in the beginning of the season last year, me and like many of us thought that Dennis Smith Jr. was going to be the starter. Mm-hmm. And Alfred Payton was going to be, the backup, and then we throw Frank in, wherever. Mm-hmm. But Dennis Smith Jr. was supposed to be the starter, and then we saw how that happened with, unfortunately, with the bad karma he was having with his mom and everything. Right. But then again, Tisdale, messed that up as well too. So, and then that, messed up his confidence and everything. So
the first half was nasty.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I am willing to let Dennis Smith Jr., be the starter because again, like you said, Frank don't care. He just wants the ball, and he knows he's going to get the minutes. He knows he's going to get his steals. He knows he's going to set up everybody, and Yeah, so I'm willing to do that. My only question is with all these point guards that are coming out in the draft, like your Kara Lewis, like your Killian Hayes, who I think will probably be gone before 8. Even that guy. Anybody seen that guy, McCallie? Darn, what's his name? I forget it. I can't even pronounce his name, but he's starting to get some talk about us picking him later on. I think in like the second round.
Honestly, Kevin, I think when the Knicks are drafting in the teens or something like that, if they can't get either Killian or LaMelo, I think they're gonna go for wing players, straight wing players. Because this is the draft. This is the draft full of those guys that can shoot and defend. So Maxey
and Kara Lewis, you don't think will
I agree with Mark. I think if the Knicks aren't getting one of those two guys, they're probably going to get a wing player or something like that. Andy, you were going to say something.
You know what? I think Tibbs is not going to go with Dennis Smith Jr. Starting. I think he's going to go with Frank, and he's going to set up Dennis Smith Jr.'s mindset that he's going to be that guard off the bench, like Lucas III, like Aaron Brooks was, like Nate Robinson was. Those were explosive guards that came in just to score for Tibbs.
Forgot about him too.
That's how I think Tibbs is going to use him, and he's going to prepare him mentally. And let's be true, Dennis Smith Jr. doesn't have anything for him just to come into Tibbs' office and say, okay, coach, I want to start because that's going to,
That's right.
Yeah, he can't demand. He can't
do that now. Yep, you're absolutely right.
Position to ask for minutes even on the roster, right?
That's true.
So I think he's going to use him off the bench, and Tibbs is going to go straight forward with him.
And
I want to use you like this, and this. Those guys made money. They made careers come back and stuff like that. That's how he's going to use him. And Frank is just going to fit, with the chemistry. He's going to fit with the starting lineup pretty much better than Dennis Smith, at least from what I see.
Yeah, I was trying to sway away from that because as the president of the Frank Ntilikina fan club,
you're the president of the Mitch Club. You're the president of the Mitch Club.
But I was
you're
Frank
the vice
well.
president of the Frank Club.
Hey, check out the Knicks Facebook page because I've been on everybody on that. But anyway, I agree with you, Andy, that I think Frank can.
That might be better for him.
Right, exactly. So, we'll just see what happens.
Yeah, and my guy Building Roots on Sportscaster, in the chat over on Sportscaster, he said, let Payton go regardless.
Yeah, he got to go.
Right. And then he said, sign DJ Augustine and then let Dennis Smith Jr. and Frank let them guys rock out.
And that's the point guard who I was thinking in my head when you just said that they're going to be having a point guard that's going to be coming. So so Tom Thibodeau again. He has a reputation around the league. I know he has relationship with players. So say if you bring DJ Augustine, he's a guy that could play 20 to 25 minutes a game and do things on the floor, right?
Yeah, I like DJ Augustine.
And not even that. Yeah, not even that. He's serviceable. Like the dude know how to run the guard spot. He know how to run the floor. He know how to make plays, and he know how to shoot the ball. Right? He keeps things honest. So again, we don't have to go for if we don't get our two guards in the thing. That's where you go for wing players now. Shooters that's in his draft because there's plenty of those guys, athletic forwards, athletic guards. So I think that's what the Knicks gonna do. Go for one of those mid-level guards as a DJ Augustine to play for the Knicks as the starting guard while you have these other two guards that you building up their confidence to come in and play the guard spot when DJ Augustine can't, whatever the game calls for them, they'll be playing. So I think DJ Augustine will be one of those guys that probably be signing with us next year.
Okay. All right, next guy. Let's get to the next guy on the list. Bobby Portis.
15?
All right. Bobby Portis makes $15.5 million, $15,570,000 in 2020, 2021. Of course, you got to waive him in order for his contract. You got to waive him by whatever the date is going to be, and you only got to pay him $1 million. He's the next guy. Let's put it like this. If the Knicks are going to make a trade, during the draft, he's going to be. Well, you don't have to sign anything. If he's going,
you can't sign a trade.
If they're going to make a trade during the draft, then they just trade him during the draft. They just trade him. Then the other team.
Oh yeah.
Right. Then the other team can decide whether or not they're going to waive him or do whatever. Right. If the Knicks don't trade him during the draft, then I'm thinking they'll probably waive him before free agency. But here's this. Well, here's this though. Let me throw this out there, because a trade may not come into a trade may not. I don't want to say come into fruition, but the possibility, the opportunity may not come up until after the draft, after you waive them. So what if you waive them, and then all of a sudden, because you still only got them for 1 year, what if you waive them, and then all of a sudden something comes up and you could have used them? I guess you can. I guess you can still absorb that trade in your cap space.
Yeah, you can. Or it depends on if there's a free agency that they talk to that they could get in here to probably play the 4 spot, like the Christian Wood guy. Again, his coming up deal, I see people talking about 15, 18 for that guy. He's mid-level exception right now. I keep telling y'all people. But the Knicks wouldn't even have to trade for him. I'm talking about. So what do you do with Bobby Portis? You know, Nick, what do you think, Nick? What do you do with Bobby Portis? If you don't trade him during the draft, do you just waive him so that you don't have to pay that $15 million?
In one, there's 2 sides to the story. First of all, you need the skill set. You need a stretch 4, right? But you need better defense out of him. I think Bobby kind of came along on his defense. I would like to say keep Bobby at a cheaper price, but that's easier said than done. I would trade him before if I could. The opportunity to give another team cap space is enticing. So, it's a trade asset. So you trade while the guy is high in value. So you trade him before the draft. And if you could get something for it, you take it and you run. Especially if you could get something for next year's draft, a 2nd round pick, a 1st round pick, whatever it may be, because it'll help some team like the Lakers, whoever that might be wanting something deeper to deepen their roster.
Not even that, Sim. Just think about that. That's a contract we could trade with a team that got a player on their team for 2 years and it's messing with their cap. We take that and we could also get a pick with that. So that we could be, like I said, we have to use our cap as a salary dump to collect assets. So like that Iguodala trade that happened, we should have been the ones in for that one. So we should have done that. So we could use Bobby Portis in that way of a contract.
But it's only two situations that we're going to trade our contract. It's for a huge deal like that CP3 one as a filler, and because nobody's going to take him just for a pick because he isn't worth $50 million per year. So it's either you get a longer contract around that money, or for a salary filler for a huge deal. That's the only way we're going to trade that contract. Other way, we're going to let him walk.
Okay, yeah, because he wasn't getting 15 nowhere.
So if you don't trade him during the draft, before or during the draft, so are you waiving him after the draft? Before that deadline comes up, are you waiving him?
Yeah, most likely, because you're gonna also look in free agent to bolster up your team to make it more better. So if that contract is in the way from you doing that, you have to, if you don't have something set up to trade or to take back to help your team. So if there's nothing out there, then you will have to have him walk.
Okay, let me ask you this. If you say you trade Julius Randle for CP3 or something, do you keep Bobby Portis to play that 4 spot now?
I would.
Yeah, I would.
Let's add this. So, okay, go ahead, Nick. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'll talk after.
I just want to say that, we got to remember, it might be a huge deal for a Bobby Portis type, right? but it's not long. So if we don't have any bench power forward that could play major minutes for us, or we lose Randall at the starting power forward position, and we're not able to sign a guy that can fill in for at least those 15, 12 points, whatever, 10 rebounds, we're gonna suck. And that Bobby Portis contract can really save us. And I'm not talking we're going to make the playoffs with Bobby Portis, right? But it's depending, we're going to be a top 3 pick, or we're going to be close to the playoffs, right? So if we're going to sign a dude that we're going to have in already scouted, already talked to his agent and stuff like that, and there's a possibility we can sign a power forward that could replace Bobby Portis, you're going to let him walk. But if you have nothing, like nothing at all, you got to stay put with Bobby. And remember, you're going to be able to trade him at the deadline. So maybe there's going to be a better deal for Bobby Portis than letting him walk.
That's true.
And we're not going to be hurted by that 15 million, because I don't see us signing 60 million worth of players right in the offseason. So that 15 million will be more sexier, closer to the trade deadline than we'll let him go out before the free agency.
Okay, so Bobby Portis could still be in play to be a New York Knick for sometime next season. It's possible, right? Because we do need his skill set, though. We're gonna need his skill set next to Mitchell Robinson.
Because when I watch him play, especially with the young guys, it's like they feed off energy. Like, he plays with a good energy that I like. Like, he could play here. He could play here, and I like how he is with the young guy. So I wouldn't be so quick to get rid of him for right now. But other than that, we could keep him.
He does some boneheaded things sometimes, right? That make you mad. Like, come on, why why are you doing that? You know what I'm saying? Some boneheaded stuff, but you got to deal with that sometimes.
Last year he didn't quit though. Like, you would think that he would quit. He didn't quit. He kept playing hard, and he plays hard to an extent. Maybe his talent don't make it seem like he plays hard, but he plays hard. Like, he don't quit at playing the game.
If he only would leave the floor, like, jump for the rebounds, I would be fine with him.
Yeah, but he's just not a rebounder.
He can't jump. He has no lift.
He has no lift, bro.
He has no lift.
He's just not a,
that's why he can't.
Not a rebounder like that.
Yeah, that's why he can't block shots.
Right? Go from one leg up. I don't have an answer for that.
Right. You know what's so funny?
He's whack like that.
Sam, but you know what's so funny about it? If you watch him in college, he was a demon on the boards, man. If you watch that kid in college, he almost had shades of like KG the way he played. Like, the intensity was crazy.
In college.
It was the intensity. I think Chicago messed him up. I think Chicago messed him up.
Pizza, Mark. Dish pizza.
I think we went over this before. Did he play for Tom Thibodeau?
No.
He came just after. He came just after.
Yeah, that Chicago messed them up. Like I said, what Chicago's doing the marketing right now is what happened to
with Bobby Portis. How do you think Bobby Portis will react to Thibodeau?
The intensity. Listen, I just think Tom Thibodeau, like, bro, the dude just know what he's doing. It's like with anything. If you go to a job and you work and you dealing with a boss that know what he's doing to make things efficient and to help you, you're gonna follow suit. That's just what humans do. You're gonna make something easy on me, or you're gonna show me the way. And Tom Thibodeau plays the way. You show me what he didn't try to show plays the way.
And here's the other thing: the staff that Thibodeau has constructed, I think is going to be a big asset towards us as well. I
think we do.
You got Woodson in there.
I forgot about Mr. Woody's.
Yeah.
Sam, listen. When we had Copeland, Prigioni, and Steve Novak, the positions that he put these players in to look the way they looked, man, listen, man, anything's possible.
Exactly.
Anything's possible.
Exactly.
Anything's possible. Because you knew Steve Novak couldn't move those duck foot for nothing. But he was in crunch games.
Yes.
I just think what the Knicks did was secretly good. Like, he put up barbed wire fence where now things can't get penetrated now. They're gonna make sure they work on these guys. And for Woody to go to New Orleans to go train with thing, at best, if he can make him at least Tyson Chandler, I'll take that at the end of the day, because Tyson Chandler was a beast.
My argument that I wanted to ask, or question that I wanted to ask is, it's just the other half of keeping like Bobby and stuff like that is, can Thibodeau, let's say we get tradable assets for Bobby Portis before the draft, can Tom Thibodeau make Bobby Portis an even better trade asset by trade deadline?
By trade deadline.
Or is he then, if he does improve Bobby Portis, then is Bobby Portis actually keepable for another contract? Right. That's always the scary thing when you talk about trading someone at the deadline. If they become really productive, it's like, okay, so now do we trade him to get whatever, or do we say he can really be a part of this team? Right. That's always. Yeah, that's always.
But you know what's crazy too? Yeah. You know what's crazy too? It's just like, all right, so like a guy like Bobby Portis, right? His ceiling is almost like what it is. So the best thing that Tom Thibodeau could do for him is defensively. I think he's going to help him a little more. More is going to be more position defensively, but for him to know where to be at certain times on rotations and to shoot a little more. I think what was he at last year? Over 35.
Let's see what he was at. Let's see where he was last year.
He's going to be good in the league. He's going to be a player that's going to stay in the league.
35.8% from three in 2019-20.
So if he goes
just about
to 36%. I'll say so. If he roams around there, he's still going to be an asset to any team if he can make threes. I mean, like make them when he's open.
Well, listen. I mean, he's been a 3-point shooter before this season. Yeah. In 18-19, he shot 40%. Yeah. 17-18, he shot 36%. You know.
He's just one of those old players that's going to have a good game. He's one of those guys that could swing a game, and then the next game, he's not going to have a good game. So you got to be careful. Like, you got to be careful what to do.
Yeah, just so his defense is on point, which, again, I think Thibodeau and Woodson are going to stress that to him. I mean, hey, listen, the sky's the limit as far as, development and coaching is concerned. It's now, like you say, Mark, it's now the players.
It's now the players' time, man.
It's now the players' times now. Now we've given you the one thing I got to say about Leon Rose is the hires that he's done. He's put all the right personnel
tactical.
as far as tactical. Now everyone keeps saying that now we need talent. Well, the players that we have, you're in a position to show what you can do under right
tutelage,
under the right coaching.
And Kevin, when they say we need talent, they're mostly talking about the point guard spot, bro. That's the most vital thing that the Knicks have been missing for years, bro. And if we could insert one decent point guard to show what to operate, because when you look at the years, we just wasn't operating properly at the guard spot. Things the offense wasn't looking at least decent at an NBA look.
And then when it was, the point guard that we had was on its last leg. I like Derek Jack.
Yeah, there you go. The best point guard we had at the time was kind of Raymond Felton, because he was really, really good for us at the time. And Chauncey Billups.
Yeah. All right, let's go on to the next guy. Wayne Ellington, he makes $8 million.
Pack him up, Sam. Pack him up. He should have. Yo, listen. Last year he was awful.
He was. He had a couple of games.
Yeah, he had a couple.
Nah, man.
He did have a couple games. He had a couple games, man.
I got Reggie Bullock in the tuck.
Especially during the end of the season, he had a couple games.
He was.
But do you need a vet though? Like, who's gonna be a vet that you want to keep?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
we got Reggie, Nick. We got Reggie Bullock.
Todd Gibson.
Yeah, but he's a better trade asset than.
No, I'm keeping Reggie. No.
You can trade him and get a ton.
No.
He's a better trade asset because he has, that better contract.
Yeah.
Wait. Time out. Who are we talking about now?
Wayne Ellington.
Yeah, he's got to go. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Because I thought we were talking about Reggie Bullock. Yeah.
Wayne Ellington can stay. That's
Wayne Ellington. Yeah,
he's a sharp shooter. No, he's a sharp shooter.
Absolutely.
And he can play defense.
Yeah.
I had to change my whole attitude last year about him.
Yeah.
It's impressed me.
Yeah. And I saw that firsthand. I saw that firsthand when I went to the Philly game.
Because I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like him. I didn't like him when we signed him, and then he changed my mind. No, he can play. He could stay, especially at $4 million. He could stay. That's a 40% 3-point shooter, right, Sam?
He shot 33.3% with us last year.
Oh, damn!
Last year.
No. I'm talking about Reggie Bullock. Not
Reggie Bullock shot 33% from three last year.
Wayne Ellington. Like that to me.
Hold on, Wayne Ellington shot 35% last year for us.
Man, that's a hoax. That's a hoax. That's a hoax.
What do you mean that's a hoax? He shoots 37.8% for his career, Wayne Ellington.
Well, guess what?
Versus bench players, Sim.
Just like what Kevin said. Just like what Kevin said, that dude on his last legs. He can go. He can go. Reggie Bullock didn't shoot. It didn't look like he shot 33%.
Mark. But to Reggie's defense, I think it was mostly because of the injury he had.
That too. No, he's a good defender though. If you watch it, he has good defensive instincts, bro, and he's big. He's big. He's a 6'4" guard.
I'm talking about the shot. Yeah, about the neck thing. Nah,
that boy could shoot the ball. I don't care. Wayne Ellington, he think he could go. Yeah. Sorry. Sorry. And Sim, like, how can he stay when you want to play Frank at the guard more? Nah, he gotta go. Get him out of here.
And again, that's what Fizdale messed up with in the beginning with giving Ellington more minutes than.
Yeah, he went for his Miami Heat guy. Yeah. Remember, he played for Miami Heat.
I forgot about that too. Yeah.
But you want to give up someone that actually did shoot the ball well for someone that's not shooting the ball well. If Frank makes a jump, you got a point. But if Frank don't make a jump, you just gave up someone that at least shot a good percentage.
Whoa. So you're saying Frank is going to go the other way? That he's going to
No. Okay. 1 in the hand versus 2 in the bush. You can't just give up a guy and not replace the guy.
But hold on.
Okay. I see. I can see that.
You have, if you're going to keep Wayne Ellington, right, then you're blocking Frank Ntilikina's playing time. So you're going to have to give up someone for that player to get that time to show what he can do at a consistent basis.
If you start, come on, guys.
I mean, if you keep Reggie Bullock, aren't you doing the same thing? They play the same position.
But
I'd rather have Reggie Bullock over Ellington.
Because you know why? And I'm going to add to this. Because if you're looking at Reggie Bullock and Wayne Ellington, you got to look to the intangibles, right? Wayne Ellington is only a pure shooter. If he's not shooting around even 40%, like Kai Korver and those guys, right?
Yeah, you can take him out the game.
He's useless. On the court. And it might happen if Woody is calling the plays on offense. That might be a really threat, right? But at least with Reggie, he's going to be a little bit lower here, but he's going to be better on defense. So and he's half of the money, the salary.
And I'll be honest, I wasn't happy about the shit. Reggie Bullock a little bit more, but sometimes I still thought he, pulled some shots that I didn't like, and Wayne Ellington definitely pulled some shots that I didn't like.
Yo, he was.
Come on.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
He went
Wayne
fast to the furious on them shots that he did last year.
And he had time to aim that three. He was open and he was taking like those turnaround threes.
I ain't gonna hold you, Andy. He was Mr. Sir Chuck-a-lot. He was Mr. Sir Chuck-a-lot last year, bro. I couldn't.
Yeah. Ellington, right?
Ellington.
Oh,
I'm talking about Ellington.
Yeah, I mean, he was. he did chuck it up when he was in there. But he only got so much playing time, so he was like, yo, I'm getting my $8 million, but I'm going to come in here and I'm going to shoot my shot. I don't care. That's what
here's the thing. When Fizdale was coaching, he was giving him so much playing time. And
he got playing time.
Yeah, then once Mike took over, that was completely stashed. But then again, Mike was looking to boost up.
Because people was complaining last year about why is Wayne Ellington getting more minutes than the younger players.
Yeah, people we were all saying that
last year.
Yes,
I know what people were saying about him. I mean,
he was getting more playing time over Kevin Knox and all them. Yeah,
facts.
Dotson. He was getting playing time over Dotson.
Yeah. He did get. Let me see. Let me tell you exactly what his numbers were last year. He averaged 15.5 minutes per game.
That's a lot.
Last year. 15.5 minutes.
That's a lot.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And we're always talking about trying to have our young players out there, giving them, playing time and everything. Yeah. And they were going the other way. Damian Dotson averaged 17.4 minutes per game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but then, but when you look at it in the eye test, it looked like Ellington was getting more than.
That's what I'm saying, Kevin. Like, because when you build, like sometimes when you see Dotson on the floor, he gets stripped off the court a lot. Like,
I think that was just because we didn't want him out there. So every second he was on the court, it felt like a minute. Yeah. Right? Every second felt like a minute. Exactly. It's like, why are you still out there? He'd be out there for 20 seconds. You think he's out there for 20 minutes? When we don't want to play out there, not even a second go by. Why is he on the floor?
Right.
Why is he on the floor?
Facts.
You right, Sam.
Facts.
Yeah, because Frank played 21 minutes a game.
Yeah.
And
still people will hate on him for that.
I ain't gonna front. Man. I ain't gonna front.
But
that dude's been through some things though. Cause like four or five coaches, man. That's kind of nuts for one young player to like really like buckle down, like because you getting taught so many different things.
Yeah. Who were his coaches? Hornacek, Fizdale. And Fisher. Oh, I forgot about Fisher. Oh God, Fisher. Yeah,
Miller. Yeah, but I think we found a good fit for Frank. So, but looking at Wayne, right? What'd you say? Andy?
And Rambis after Fisher, right?
Oh, Rambis.
Yeah,
Rambis.
Yeah.
Forget about Rambis.
Frank wasn't here for Fisher and Rambis.
He wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
No, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
You're right.
That was Hornacek. Hornacek
was his rookie coach.
Hornacek
was his rookie coach. Yeah. Right. All right. Next guy up the bat. Who's next? Let's see. And then I got a couple super chats I want to read off. We just talked about Reggie Bullock. Yeah, you can't keep both of them. You can't keep both of them, and it helps you cap wise, I guess, to waive Wayne Ellington and keep Reggie Bullock because you can still trade Reggie Bullock at the trade deadline.
And I'm keeping the bigger guard. I'm keeping the bigger guard, and I think he can shoot better.
So that's Wayne. So that's Reggie.
That's Reggie.
One thing I did love that the Knicks did, like taking care of Reggie Bullock when his sister died and everything. Like there was some goodwill and good favor in what they did for Reggie Bullock, which is why I think keeping him, because I think he has more trade value. I was just asking the question because you still have to try to fix the problem of shooting. Like it's still a problem.
Yeah, you're right. But that's why
I'll take it a notch higher. I like the way when he was going to get this first contract, and then when he had the injury, they were able to rework it, and he agreed to
back also.
So which helped us to get Morris too.
I'm telling you, Kevin. I said if the Knicks get right, players will take less just to be in New York. You don't understand the staying power in here, man.
And not Brooklyn. And not Brooklyn. And not Brooklyn.
Yeah. All right, so let me ask you guys a question. Uptown Twan, thank you for the super chat. And for those who were trying to call in, the phone line is down today. I apologize for that. It'll be back up for the next show. Guarantee you that. Uptown Twan, he says, Sam, what do you think about signing Isaiah Thomas as a vet? I feel he can play good next to Frank, and he's probably looking for a prove-it type of contract. What do you guys think about Isaiah Thomas? I don't really like Isaiah Thomas.
Ball hog, and you have to center your offense around him.
Yep. That's passed. That's passed for him, unfortunately. That's passed.
He really thought he was about to get the Brinks. I don't think he would have ever got the Brinks right, even if he won MVP that year. There's no way I'm paying a guard over $20 million at a 5'7". No way, no how. Get out of here, man. Be logical.
You know a guy is a bad player when all he has to do is just play second fiddle to LeBron and he goes to the finals and
that's a problem.
Right.
Yeah.
He couldn't do it.
And like Stephen Fox was saying in the chat, we have Jared Harper, so
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, yes.
You got Jared Harper. You're gonna see what's going on with Jared Harper.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's. I have no interest in Isaiah Thomas, and I mean he is a vet, but not that kind of vet. I don't look at him as a savvy vet. You know what I mean?
He has the little man short complex. Like he'll get mad. Like I don't want that here. Please.
Honestly, I think his time is. I think his time has passed.
Yes,
I really
Sam,
do.
For you to keep him in the game, your defense would have to be top five, because teams will destroy. Teams will purposely look for him every time. No, I don't have the type of patience for that.
Let me ask you this. If Rondo shakes loose,
you come and play here.
Would you?
You can come and play here.
Nick, would you take Rondo if he shakes loose?
That's tough because like Rondo hadn't been happy in losing situations. So like his psyche is the problem. Like he just came off a championship on a championship team. When he was with Chicago, he was divisive on that team. When he was with Dallas, he was divisive on that team. Is what version of Rondo are you gonna get? I like Rondo. I think
you're right. You're right.
But it's just if he starts losing, is he gonna get cranky? Do we have to burp the baby? All that kind of crap. Like it just depends.
Yeah, we could pass on that. We could pass upon him. Now that you think about it.
If you would get Rondo with the right mindset, he's a perfect guy for us.
I agree. I think the same way, man.
Yeah.
It's a double-edged sword because the dude can help these young players, put them in position to do things, and it's just a double-edged sword with that.
Mark,
dude.
Then just sign him to a 15 million per year. 1 year for team option.
I was thinking
if 15 million is not going to make him happy, bro.
But you know what, too, said? I think our X factor is Tom Thibodeau because again, if you bring in Rondo, right, he can respect the coach. Because one thing is with Rondos and those type of players, if they don't respect the coach, because when he was with Dallas tried to make him play a way that it wasn't fitting his game. That's what he complained about. And when you go to Dallas, you're going to play a certain way. And that's the only way you play. Rondo plays to his strengths. And you've seen it for the Lakers. They didn't try to change him. They didn't try to make him into a jump shooter. He just started making jump shots. So if you're going to bring him here, you have to let him run the ship because he couldn't run the ship in Dallas. Because if you watch the Dallas sideline, Carlisle's calling plays every time. Yeah. Every time. That's why they wanted to get rid of Dennis Smith, because he didn't know how to run the plays. So they seen he can't run, he can't play it. So I think Tom Thibodeau will allow Rondo to be Rondo. So in that case, I'll bring him on in because it would help the confidence of players, man. Because when he came out in the media, he had to tell LeBron James, you have to play a certain way with your body language. So if Kuzma misses a shot, you can't just be looking at him that way because that kills his confidence. And it's the most littlest things that can help guys like Kevin Knox or even Frank.
Yeah.
I don't worry about RJ. And Mitch, to me, I think they have the motor enough to be good enough. But for the younger guys, he's going to be very, very great.
Yeah, I think Rondo is the kind of guard that Tom Thibodeau would go ahead and let him play the game, right? And and that's probably what Tom Thibodeau wants. That's why I think Tom Thibodeau would like to have a veteran point guard, a guy that he can put out there, and he doesn't have to tell that point guard what to do and what to run. He can focus on other adjustments, right? That's the best way to coach. I had one point guard like that as a coach, AAU coach, and it made it so much easier to coach because I could sit back and he would run everything out there on the floor, and then I call him to the side and say, yo, we need to do this, that, and that. Right. And he would do that, or make this adjustment or that adjustment, put this player here, put that player there, or whatever it is. But he could go out there and just play the basketball game. And I didn't have to worry about calling out every single play because he could do it. You know what I'm saying? And it makes coaching so much better when you have a guy out there on the floor that can really take over the reins and get things done the way they need. That's why I think that Rondo, I think he's going to stay in LA, right? He's probably going to stay in LA. But I think for this team, it would it would be great, I think, for this team if
and
you could get someone like Rondo.
When you watch Rondo with bigs, it's about, because Rondo play with angles, man. Like when he's doing entry passes or setting up the big, when you watch the league nowadays, there's not a lot of point guards that know how to get entry passes. It's like when you watch it, sometimes you be like, yo, you don't know how to pass to the big man in a proper way. That's why when you watch Rondo and Anthony Davis chemistry, Anthony Davis get the ball in the right position every time so he can score easily. AD would just be scoring at will anytime you get a great entry pass. So when you have Mitch and Rondo together, it's going to help Mitch game even more to score better, to be more efficient around the rim. So I think he'll be good. Cause I just have so much faith in Tom Thibodeau and how he commands and the respect that he has. It's about the respect. And I think when you bring in players and you got a game plan for players to do what they need to do, players is going to follow suit. So I think we're going to be good if we sign Rondo. I think it'll be good. It's just a double-edged sword.
Yeah. Joshua O'Crane, thank you for the super chat. He said, salute to you guys in the chat. And he said, hope everyone is good. He said, get Wayne Brickington out of here.
See?
He said, Bertans is a must. And he said, if Bobby Portis comes back, oh my Lord, shake my head. And then Lou Memorabilia, he says, these one-on-one deals all have outs in them. And that's what we're talking about now, Lou. He said the acquiring team of a Payton or a Portis would want to waive and only have to pay them with a $1 million buyout. We could get a vet player on a 1-year deal accompanied by a pick or something like that. That's possible. I think it's more than likely those guys end up getting used in a bigger deal. You know what I'm saying? Or just waived so that they can, so that the Knicks can have some cap space, you know. But, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys here on YouTube. We're getting ready to switch over entirely to Sportscaster. We're just going to jump on some other NBA news, right? We're going to talk about some of the dates coming up for the season to start. I just got an email from the Knicks today asking me to put down money for tickets. You know what I'm saying? So it sounds to me like those talks are serious.
Yeah.
About starting up. You know what I mean? Angry Man, thank you for the super chat. So yeah, we're heading over to Sportscaster, ladies and gentlemen. If you go up to there's a pinned comment at the top of the screen, at the top of your chat. On YouTube, there's a pinned comment, and that has the link to the Sportscaster stream. So we're going to continue the rest of this show on Sportscaster. The link is also in the description. All right, and make sure you follow me over there. And when you follow me on Sportscaster, the notification will come to your email whenever I go live on Sportscaster. All right, sometimes I go live on Sportscaster and not on YouTube because I'm live on somebody else's channel or something like that. All right, so make sure you check us out over there on Sportscaster. Friday, we'll be doing another Coach's Corner. All right, and that's live on Sportscaster, and then it gets uploaded to YouTube. Now, you guys get the uploaded version of YouTube. We may have a couple of minutes of talk after we do Coach's Corner on Sportscaster. So if you can catch it live, catch it live. If not, just catch it on YouTube. All right. And, it's Monday. I may do something. I may jump on for 20 or 30 minutes strictly on YouTube this week just to, do a couple call-in, have a little call-in session for 20 or 30 minutes or something like that. A little bit later on this week, maybe Wednesday or something like that. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, join me over there on Sportscaster again. The link is in the description of the video. It's also pinned to the chat. And we're out of here. Be peaceful, YouTube, and hopefully we see you over on Sportscaster. All right, so let's get it. Peace, YouTube. All right.